Jake Paul, maybe?
Easy. Easy. Too easy.
It's too easy.
Too easy.
That's right. Gervonta Tank Davis versus me, baby.
It's not over just because you fighting Jake Paul. Jake Paul ain't no type of demon. It's not like he about to go in there with Godzilla. You about to play around for 8 rounds, 2 minutes with a dickhead. You know what I mean? No disrespect. But, you know, with somebody that think they know how to fight. This is a still.
Floyd Mayweather has finally spoken up about the much-hyped showdown between Gervonta Tank Davis and Jake Paul. In his first public comments, Mayweather didn't hold back. He praised Tank for his incredible power and skills, calling him a true force inside the ring. But when it came to Jake Paul, Mayweather was skeptical. He questioned whether Paul's rapid rise is based on real boxing talent or just the spectacle around his personality.
Boxing has gone too far. Jake Paul is taking on Gervonta Tank Davis in an exhibition bout this November. The fight will be taking place in Atlanta between the cruiserweight and the 135-pounder, nearly a 100-pound difference between the two guys. This is absolutely insane. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments down below.
Mayweather Jr. also doubled down on his thoughts about Jake Paul. He made it clear that the YouTuber-turned-boxer simply isn't on the same level as elite professionals. Yes, Paul has built a following and grabbed attention, but Mayweather insists his skills can't compare to real champions who've dedicated their lives to boxing. He added that if Davis were to fight Paul, it would be a money grab, not a credible matchup. In fact, he warned that such a fight could even hurt Tank's legacy, since beating Paul proves nothing, but losing would be disastrous.
But Jake Paul, I mean, as of right now, for what he's doing, it's good for what he's doing. But once he fights a real fighter, it's going to be bad.
Have you been impressed?
But one thing I like about him, one thing I do like about him, he's selling it. He's selling it, and he's making good money, and he's entertaining. I like it.
Is he? And Floyd, there are many people who believe you're the most talented fighter ever. Period. So whatever you say to this question, I think is important. Are you impressed? Does he have boxing ability, or is he just an entertainer who has a lot of fans and can promote a fight and has fought lesser opponents, or is he actually talented?
As long as he continues to fight MMA guys and YouTubers, he's gonna continue to look good and shine. But once he fights a real fighter, a real fighter that can really fight, it's not gonna be that good.
Boxing insiders aren't taking this fight seriously either. Heavyweight Dave Allen called it a farce, saying Tank could knock Paul out easily and that both men are only in it for the money. Promoter Eddie Hearn echoed that sentiment, suggesting Tank may be chasing paydays instead of titles, possibly signaling he's already half checked out of the sport.
What weight would it be at?
195. It would be an exhibition.
Okay, so it was going to be an exhibition, not sanctioned, but no restrictions. You can knock each other out and shit like that. It was going to be at a catch weight of 195 pounds, 10 rounds, 3 minutes. I've been trying to figure this out. Why was I a Tank hater for wanting to see Tank go up 5 pounds to get some smoke with like Teofimo Lopez or something? I just wanted to see him go up 5 pounds and fight Teofimo Lopez. And all of you are saying, you want Tank hurt, Showbiz. You a hater. You want him hurt. Then I'm convinced, okay, he's too small, but he can fight Jake at 195?
Dave Allen has been especially vocal about this so-called exhibition. He says the weight gap between Paul and Davis makes the fight a circus act, not a real contest. Paul fights at cruiserweight while Tank is a lightweight, a mismatch that, in Allen's eyes, hurts boxing's credibility. He also shifted focus to young prospect Moses Itama, saying if Itama wants to prove himself at the top level, he needs to face seasoned fighters like Dillian White.
This might be happening in an exhibition. Thing with Jake Paul, I think he's a good area title level fighter, and that's a good level. Like, and you can be proud of it. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's good. But the Mike Tyson fight I didn't like. The Chavez fight was just farcical because he's 11 years past his best, up 6 weight divisions. But less of a problem because Chavez wasn't in his 50s. Fighting the MMA guys, again, he's fighting people that don't do the same, that they're not even in the same sport. But while they're a bit older, they're still not in the 50s. So all that stuff. I won't really watch any of it. Didn't really. I think I've watched one fight against Tommy Fury, the only professional boxer in and around his prime years, and he got beat. But I think his area title level. I think he works really hard. I think he trains hard, and I don't think he's a bad fighter at all. I don't think he's I don't think he's a good fighter, but he's not a bad fighter. For his experience, he's not bad at all. But Gervonta Davis is a lightweight. So, by all means, if they make a few quid and nobody gets hurt, then great. But I certainly wouldn't be paying a penny to watch it. I think it's just absolutely ridiculous, farcical. Who wants to watch an exhibition? Gervonta Davis is in his prime years. Why is he wasting his time? Why is he having a rematch with the fella he got a draw with? Why is he not fighting? Why is he not going up a weight and fighting Lopez and Garcias and them fighters? Why is he fighting Jake Paul in an exhibition? I get the money's great, but he's in the prime years. This is his best year. This is where he can become. Maybe you don't want to be an all-time great. Maybe you don't want to do all that stuff.
Boxing writer Keith Idec didn't hold back either.
Mince words.
He blasted the narrative that Tank is ducking Jake Paul, calling it completely misleading. Tank's mandatory rematch with Lamont Roach is his actual obligation, not some YouTube crossover fight. Idec's point is clear. Boxing should focus on real commitments, not manufactured drama.
Well, I think as we discuss this, we should use air quotes when we call it a fight, because I don't see how any athletic commission, in this case the Georgia Athletic and Entertainment Commission, could sanction this as a legitimate boxing match. I think it has to be treated as entertainment to some degree, because you can't put someone they're 65 pounds apart in weight for the most part now. If you look at the cruiserweight limit and the lightweight limit, even if Jake Paul somehow got down to, let's just say 180, and I'm not sure that he'd be able to do that at this point because he's fought so high in weight. Let's just say he got down to 180. They're still 45 pounds apart in weight, and that's just not safe. So if this were to be treated as some sort of, even though they're calling it an exhibition, a legitimate athletic event, I don't know how you could do that, because it's just not safe for someone that big and someone that small to fight each other. That's why they have weight classes. And I just don't understand. I do understand that Netflix is into tentpole events, and people will watch this because they're into the spectacle of it all, and it will draw eyeballs. But does anything that anyone pitches that people will watch, does that make it a good idea?
Dana White, however, took a different tone. While he's had plenty of clashes with Jake Paul, he's also given him credit at times, especially for his promotional skills. Back in 2024, Dana admitted Paul has done a lot to bring attention to the sport, saying he doesn't hate him for it. He even praised Logan Paul, calling him brilliant for the way he's helped spotlight boxing. Whether you like them or not, Dana recognized that the Paul brothers have made an impact.
Jake said that I snort cocaine, that I'm a cokehead. My rebuttal to that was, I'll tell you what, you can test me for the next 5 years for cocaine if I can test you randomly for performance-enhancing drugs the next 2 years. And I never got a response on that. But other than when me and Jake Paul have gone back and forth with each other, I've never said anything to defame him. And then when he was talking about his fights being fixed, I don't think that people are actually saying that they're predetermined outcomes, that they're fixing the fights, with predetermined outcomes. They're saying, if you're fighting a 60-year-old fucking guy that can barely walk to the fucking ring, right, and almost died 2 months before that, it's almost like a predetermined outcome. That's what they're fucking saying.
Looking ahead to November 15th, 2025, Jake Paul actually has some advantages going into this exhibition. Tank Davis boasts a perfect 30-0 record, but Paul is about 65 pounds heavier and nearly half a foot taller. That size difference could make a huge impact. While Tank is known for his speed and knockout power, the weight gap and the exhibition rules might limit him. Paul's size, confidence, and strategy could open the door for a shocking upset.
Man, this fight has to be the most talked about thing that's going on in sports right now. And this fight has made us all hypocrites, really, and I'll tell you why. Also, I got to tell you guys who I think will win the fight and why I think Jake Paul wins the fight. I think either Jake Paul wins or it's a draw.
No.
No way.
Nope.
Since it's an exhibition, and we'll talk about that. But you saw at the beginning, This fight is just impactful. And as boxing pugilists, many of us, we hate this shit. But as boxing fans, you want real shit, right? You see Tank Davis versus Jake Paul. But then what you really want is what you're getting out of like Brian Norman Jr. and Devin the American Dream Haney.
Show me my bitch thing. 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 Yeah, I'm right here. I'm right here. Shut up. Your motherfucker. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. What the fuck your security at, nigga? I don't need no right here. Yeah, what's up? What's up, nigga? What's up, nigga? You a bitch, nigga. You a bitch. Yeah, all right.
You have Gervonta Tank Davis fanboys. I'm talking about huge fans of Tank turning over on him. I saw Tank Davis fans put up pictures of him as a clown and shit. Like, this is crazy. And I get it. I totally get it. But at the same time, it has revealed a huge amount of hypocrisy. Because guess what? With everybody talking about this fight, and I see people talking about the fight who doesn't even watch boxing, especially those who don't watch boxing. Let's keep it real. This is a fight for the casuals, okay? But at the same time, with so many people talking about this fight, good or bad, the way the internet just erupted and all the socials just went crazy, this fight is going to be one of the biggest fights in history.
Lamont Roach Jr. isn't happy about this at all. He blasted Davis for chasing an exhibition with Jake Paul instead of giving him the rematch fans want. Roach said Tank is ducking real competition in favor of a cash grab. Their first fight ended in a controversial draw, and Roach insists the boxing community deserves to see them run it back. If not, he hinted at facing Shakur Stevenson as another big option.
I told y'all from the beginning, man, that I got the skills to pay the bills. I've been telling y'all that. And I'm just glad I got to show it, honestly. I'm glad I got to show it. I appreciate, like I said before, I appreciate true boxing media. Some guys that didn't count me out. So that's just how I feel, man. I think I won. And, I can't wait to do it again. I can't wait to dance again.
Plenty of commentators are also trashing the Davis-Paul matchup. They say it's absurd, pointing to the massive size gap, nearly 65 pounds and 8 inches of height. To them, this looks more like professional wrestling than real boxing. Critics argue it's all about money and attention, not sport, and that it risks making boxing look like a sideshow instead of a serious competition.
Boxing Doctor News. Hold on to your seats, boxing fans. The fight we've all been waiting for is finally happening. Jake Paul versus Gervonta Tank Davis this November in Atlanta. But here's the twist. There's a massive weight difference. Paul, a cruiserweight, against Davis, who's never even hit 140 pounds. Is this fair? Is it safe? And get this, we don't even know if it's an exhibition or a sanctioned fight yet. But one thing's for sure, there will be a definitive outcome. So, who's got more to lose? The YouTube sensation or the lightweight champ? And what about those Anthony Joshua rumors? Looks like we'll have to wait till 2026 for that showdown. This is boxing's biggest mismatch or the upset of the century in the making. What do you think? Drop your predictions below.
Manny Pacquiao, on the other hand, offered a more respectful take. On the Ariel Helwani show, Pacquiao said Jake Paul does have talent and could be considered a real boxer. But he also stressed that boxing should always prioritize competitive, evenly matched fights, not just exhibitions. Manny even issued a challenge of his own, saying he's open to fighting Davis if Tank moves up to 145 or 147 pounds. Pacquiao remains confident, suggesting weight would be the only barrier to making that fight happen.
They keep talking about Gervonta Davis as a possible fight, man. You like that fight because he's little, like he's your size.
I like that. I like that. I mean, I like that, but let's finish first this one because this one is a taller champion like that. So I have a lot of things to do in training camp.
Is there ever any possibility that you would go back in the ring and fight someone like a Tank Davis?
If he wants, and if he come up to 147, then we can fight.
He can't meet you at 140?
145 maybe.
What happens? You have a lot of experience, but he's explosive. What would happen in that fight?
Oh, that's not a problem for me. Because I'm an experienced fighter, so.
Back in December 2024, Davis shocked fans by announcing he planned to retire after 2025, frustrated by the pressures of the sport. But now, instead of walking away, he's set to fight Jake Paul in an exhibition on November 14, 2025, streamed live on Netflix. The huge size difference between Paul and Davis has many wondering if this is really about competition or just a massive payday.
25 is at the next year. I'm out of it.
After our second fight.
You're out of it?
Yeah.
Care to elaborate on that?
Out of the sport.
After our second fight. Nah, no, I'm gonna win, bro.
Nah, I could tell you my fights.
Davis just posted that he would beat the brakes off of you if you guys fight.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be down. Let's run it. Like, I'll be super, super down. I don't know if
Gervonta needs Jake Paul. Let's be clear, right?
Is there a height limit in boxing?
Gervonta Davis.
Davis himself seems to have confirmed that. At a press conference, he openly admitted, "I grab money. I'm out." Promoter Eddie Hearn backed that up, saying Tank is half checked out of the sport and fighting for cash, not glory. This Paul fight may just be his final payday before saying goodbye to boxing.
Let's get back to it, man. Real when it's TV, like, subscribe. You know my slogan, man. Tank Davis, man, versus Jake Paul, man. What a great fight. What a great Davis and Goliath type of event, you know what I'm saying? Straight for Netflix. It's going to be in Atlanta. It's going to be packed. You know what I'm saying? The State Farm Arena is going to be packed. I've been to ATL. It's going to be packed out there. Tank never fighting again. He's never fighting none of y'all guys again, man. You know what I mean? Once he get to 30, 40 million, maybe a 50, I mean, if he get 30, 40 million, somewhere around Tyson numbers, it's over. It's over. You know what I'm saying? I'm not coming back to fighting Lamar Roach again. No, for what? I can't even get to them darkest places to fight this dude. He's boring, he's quiet, he don't say too much to get me going. Shakur Stevenson, the same thing. You used to be my boy. We used to be cool. Now when I got to a certain level, you want to fight and take my belt. There's certain ways you go about that, and that's why Tank don't like that nigga, you know what I'm saying? And the same thing with Devin Haney, you know what I'm saying? That's why he don't like them niggas, because they always cool, you know what I'm saying? So, you know how it is when you're young and you're cool, you think niggas is your boys, and all of a sudden niggas want to fight you, you feel some type of way, though, you know what I'm saying? Even though it's the business, though, but it's the way I go about these things, you know what I'm saying? But we can fight, get this money, and we both still can be cool, you know what I'm saying? But Tank felt like it was some disrespect there, so you gotta remember, Tank came in the game under Mayweather, you know what I'm saying? He showed him how to pick and choose these fights and how to get this bread, you know what I mean? He just following the Mayweather train. Yeah, he just doing it on a gangster way, you know what I'm saying? And it is flossy as Mayweather, but you know what I mean? You know the words I'm looking for, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, he following the footsteps of Floyd Mayweather, you know what I'm saying? Simple, you know what I'm saying? Get that bag. You'll never see Tank fight again. Why else? Why would he fight against? Who could he come back and fight after Jake Paul? Nobody, baby. Like and subscribe, you know my slogan. Let's tune in. Jake Paul, Gervonta Tank Davis. We up next, November 15th. Pow.
Fans and analysts are split. Many see this fight as nothing but a money spectacle, cartoonish, greedy, even disgraceful. They argue it damages Davis' legacy. Still, a few admit that the sheer weirdness of such a mismatch makes it hard to look away. It might not be pure boxing, but it's definitely attention-grabbing.
Exhibition. Every boxing ring Jake Paul's ever stepped into has been an exhibition, in my opinion. Probably the only one that hasn't is the Tommy Fury fight, which he lost, because that was two guys, similar size, similar experience.
Similar age,
who had a white-collar style boxing match, a very raw novice boxing match. And I'm not here to dig into Jake Paul's boxing ability. I think for a kid that's got the wealth he has and is training the way he is, he's treating the sport outside the ring. He's treating the sport right. He seems to be putting the work in. I can see improvements when he's in there. He's still an absolute raw novice that would never, ever get close to winning a British title, and that probably won't ever change. But he's obviously in love with the sport, and the things that he's doing for women's boxing, got me back.
So here's the real question. Does this fight damage boxing's legacy, or is it exactly the kind of hype the sport needs? Drop your thoughts in the comments below.